A lot of times we're like, it's summertime. We'll figure it out, which is wonderful. We do want less rigidity. We want less schedule, especially if you have kids or if you're taking vacation time. But we want to keep some sense of self-care. So, welcome to Reframe and Reclaim. We are Courtney Huckabee, a psychotherapist,
and Jen Harris, an interior designer who have teamed up
to reflect,
challenge,
and reframe your mindset in relationship with your personal belongings.
Join us as we discuss and declutter all of the stuff that keeps us stuck.
Learn to intentionally create environments with improved function and design that cultivate peace of mind. Find the reframe.
Start your reclaim.
Hi, welcome to Reframe and Reclaim. I am Courtney Huckabee.
And I'm Jen Harris.
And today we're here to talk about summertime. We're going to talk about 3 tips for summer success and sanity.
I definitely need some help in this area because the summer can be very stressful in our house. And we just came off of a move. You know, our schedules are completely off. So, Courtney, help us regain our summer sanity.
Well, I want to start first with self-care. A lot of times we're like, it's summertime. We'll figure it out, which is wonderful. We do want less rigidity. We want less schedule, especially if you have kids or if you're taking vacation time. But we want to keep some sense of self-care. So, most important, sleep.
Yes.
How are we doing with sleep? We may have the kids up later. You may say, you know what? I'm going to, stay up a little later tonight. It's nice out. The sun is up longer. I don't want to go to sleep yet. It feels so weird going to sleep when the sun is up at 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
But it's really important to make sure that in the summer, especially when you have special events, if you have family trips planned, if you're, going to be doing any traveling, especially time zones, we want to make sure we have appropriate sleep. So not that we have to get, 8 hours, 9 hours every night, but make sure that, throughout the week you're evening out that sleep time.
Well, I don't know about anyone else's children, but mine do not sleep in. So if we're up late, they're still up at the same time. And so for me, a lot of times I'm like, oh, I'm going to be flexible and we're going to stay up a little bit later. And then I feel like I always pay for it the next day whenever they're grouchy and didn't get enough sleep. And so in our household, we really have to monitor that and make sure that we are able to still keep them in some sort of routine. So we try and have all of our extra fun during the day.
Yeah, and for me too, like if I'm staying up late one night because, it's summertime, it's fun, I'm paying for it the next day, especially if I don't have a summer vacation. I am in the office going to work at the same time. But summer just brings fun, but we want to make sure there's fun with making sure there's still some kind of routine with sleep.
And to your point, it is difficult to fall asleep when the sun's still out. It
is. I know. I'm saying that out of personal experience. But also with self-care, we want to make sure that, nutrition and food, there's a lot of times we're like, there's food in the house, get what you want. We're not going to have breakfast at this time. We don't have to rush out the door. We're going to have lunch at this time. Or maybe, dinner is like kind of pick what you need. Even if it's, not planning every meal, we want to make sure that we have at least foods that you're going to feel good eating. It's great to have some good sweet treats in there, ice cream, some chips, some snacks. But if your kids especially are going to be, doing a little bit more of their own, foraging of food, make sure that they have healthier snacks that are available to them as well. Or for me in my home, I will say you can have those chips after you have a yogurt or after you have, some fruit. So we can balance that out a little bit too.
And something we do in our household in the summertime is we make smoothie popsicles. We'll take frozen fruit and, put it just in a popsicle form. And my kids think it's like the best thing ever. And it's like, it's just frozen fruit, but they think it's a, fun summertime treat. So.
And it is a fun summertime treat. We want to have fun. We want to make sure you're staying cool in the summer heat, but let's make sure we're just make healthier choices with that. And again, it's great to have a little snack or a treat every once in a while, but especially if, it's summertime, the kids are getting sugar high, they're getting, this, it's really hard to get them to sleep if we don't have some balanced nutrition throughout the day.
And ourselves too, right?
Yes.
So if we have that little extra hit of sugar, extra hit of caffeine.
Yeah. And talking about, getting energy and active, we also want to make sure we have appropriate exercise. So I don't know where you're at listening to us, but we live in Texas. And so it's like once summer hits, it's like almost you don't want to be outside. But how can you find some really good ways for you to get some physical exercise, the kids to get some of that energy out? Even if you're traveling, am I staying at a hotel that has like a treadmill in the gym, or, am I going to take a walk on the beach in the morning? I'm like trying to manifest that a morning beach walk this summer. But making sure that we're staying active and we're not just like, couch potatoing all day long.
One thing I do too, if I'm going on a road trip or if I'm, being sedentary for a while, is I bring like an elastic band with me to the hotel, and so I can start stretching out. Because we don't always have access to go for a walk or go work out, but being able to stretch my muscles really helps sleeping, because you're in a new bed. You usually don't get your best sleep when you're traveling, so.
Yeah, and you have the car ride, you have the fast food, you gotta, what do I get really quick if you are on a car ride?
Or a plane ride and you're all squished in.
Yeah, so we really want to make sure that you are able to get up, walk around, get some exercise, get that energy out if you have kids. But, speaking of, traveling, we want to make sure we're connecting. And summertime is a time that so many people connect, whether it's visiting a family member out of town, or making extra play dates if you have kids, or making sure you get a dinner time with your girlfriends. We want to make sure that we're creating time and space to really connect with people. There's more daytime, so we have longer days. So really using that time to connect and make sure we're making those really good memories, not only for like our kids, but also like social health as well.
Yeah, I love that, because it is. I remember as a child, that's kind of whenever I, solidified those friendships, right? Whenever it's like, hey, it's summertime, what are you doing? I'm going to come over and play, and spending all that extra time together to play really made those friendships last. And
Yeah, I was really fortunate a couple of years ago. I have college friends, and we decided we were going to celebrate my college friend and her husband's 15th year of their wedding anniversary. And we all have kids. We're all from all around the U.S. now. We don't all live in the same area. But it was so wonderful just to take some time that I went with my husband and my kid, and they went with their partner and their kids, and we had to make those great memories, and we made it purposeful and intentional. So if you get those opportunities to like go visit the cousin or go visit the grandparent that's out of state, go visit the friend that you haven't seen and take a road trip, it's so good for our souls, and it's so good to make those memories and connect.
Or even, take advantage of the sunlight and set up a Zoom call with people from all over the country, or set up, they've, online game nights you can do as well. So.
Yes, yeah. Or if the friend that's down the street, but you know what, during, the regular work day, I don't have time or bandwidth, you know what, maybe on a Thursday night, I'm going to make extra time for that. Or on a Saturday, we're going to make sure we make plans to get together and hang out.
I like that. Especially, when I was back and driving in the office every day, I was always really excited during the summertime, because traffic always lightened, because there were less people in the office, less people driving in. So I would gain an extra like 10 minutes each way on my drive. It's like, this is fantastic, and so taking advantage of even like that extra 20 minutes for either self-care or connection, I think is a great tip.
Yeah. And, in the summertime, sometimes, if we have like a limited amount of time or a limited vacation, we're trying to rush and fit everything in. I know for me, I'm a planner. I'm like, okay, at 10 o'clock, we're going to do this. And at 12 o'clock, we're going to do that. And at 1 o'clock, we're going to do that. And it can be really, really exhausting for a lot of us, even myself, when I say I just want to fit everything in. So my third and last tip is make sure you have downtime. Just because it's summertime and your kids are bored, just because you're like, what, it's a longer day, I have more time to go out and play. You want to make sure that you're actually getting decompression time and getting time to just be and relax and just kind of let your body just kind of calm down.
Yeah, I really like that, because I feel like for me personally, I'm not great at self-care and I'm not great at downtime. I like to keep myself busy. And so I usually reserve that for vacations. It's like, oh, this is my time to decompress. However, the build up to that is so stressful. And then when you get home, it's like, we got to get back in routine. And that's so stressful. It really negates any of the downtime I experience. So I really like that idea of trying to find little bits every day to be able to decompress.
And, whether it is like for me, sometimes I try to get up before my kid, because I do still work in the summer times. I try to get up before my kid and just have time for me to focus on, do I need coffee? Do I need to, make sure my clothes are ironed, or do I need to just have time just in quiet, to focus on me? And that can be a really great way to like start your day that way. Or if you can get your kids into bed and you do have a little extra energy, maybe I'm going to watch a show, or I'm going to like stay up and talk with my partner. I'm going to call my friend. Even that can be connection and downtime.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to make sure that we don't have every moment of my day, or even when you're on vacation. I'm saying this out of, advice to myself. Even if you're going to a new place, or you're reconnecting with a family member or a friend that's not in the same place, having that downtime with them, or having that downtime in that space, will make sure that that is more pleasurable, and you're not going to be as exhausted when you get back from that time.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that, because I do overschedule sometimes on vacations as well. And again, coming back and it's stressful. You just don't feel like you rested at all.
So whether you are taking a vacation, whether you're, going to visit friends and family, make sure you have these 3 things. Self-care, including sleep, nutrition, moving your body if you can. Make sure you're making time to connect. This is a great time. There's a lot of things that we could do in the summertime that we can't do during the school year or other parts of the seasons. And then making sure that lastly, we're not overscheduling ourselves, overscheduling our kids, or trying to entertain everybody. Having that downtime just to be, let your body decompress, let your mind decompress, and just relax is really going to be a great way to enjoy the summer with some sanity, but also feel as though it was a really successful season for you and your family.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take tip 3. That's the one, the downtime. That's what I need.
Yeah. So thanks for listening in. Please leave your comments below what your summer plans are, or how you make sure that you make it a successful summer. Share your tips with us, because we love feedback. And if you want more tips on, how to reframe your mindset, reclaim your space, not only your physical space, but your peace of mind, check out our book, Reframe and Reclaim.
And if you're enjoying our podcast, please like and follow us, subscribe. Also, leave a rating if your platform allows you to. That's really the best way for the algorithm to spread our message to others and new listeners. So we hope you've enjoyed another podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to us with Reframe and Reclaim at our podcast. If you are interested in more information about our book, you can find our book at any online retailer. You can also find us at reframe-reclaim.com.